Yokoso, ladies and gentlemen. I am Narashi, and I am a host of Gameplay Shinobi. We are about to slice and dice Dragon Age Inquisition. You might ask, what do you mean by slice and dice? Well, you see, I'm going to do a review of a gameplay and game mechanics, particularly combat. This channel will focus mainly on gameplays and combat mechanics, and as such I'll give my grading depending on how good or bad the combat is in the game, and whether the game is worth playing or not. Now that you know, Shinken Shobu Hajime! I bought Dragon Age Inquisition because I was really hyped about the action combat and that there's a multiplayer. I didn't like the combat in the previous game, so I was hoping that this installment will fulfill or fill my thirst. However, I was deeply disappointed, and here's why. Mouse targeting, just like in MMORPGs. Really? Huh. And also the fact that I have to click mouse button if I want to rotate the camera, and this is highly annoying. But you can get used to it. In this video I have missed my attack, which was a pommel strike, only because I had a different target selected. Now you might argue that when you press tab it will select a new target, but quite often than not, it's not the closest one or the one I want to choose, and that creates some of the frustrations. And yeah, it's kind of like an immersion breaker as well to see your character suddenly, you know, slashing the air instead of going for the right enemy AI. And this could have been easily solved had the camera been, you know, operated by the mouse, and it was true action combat that you have to be at the right distance and you have to be in front of the character, but it's just not here. So not even having a manual aim results in frustration a lot of times and makes a rather casual experience that you can just click and just press those abilities or skills on your keyboard. It's, yeah, this is not what I expected, but hey. Another thing is really dumb AI. Now that's something that hasn't been mentioned by a lot of big reviewers here on YouTube, at least, but I would like to mention it. Now before you jump on the bandwagon of hatred, have a look at this clip. Now you can see Solas here standing right beside this huge guy. He's gonna chug a potion. Well, all he needed to do is to distance himself and let the other two take him out. My friend told me that in the first Dragon Age you had more options as to choose behaviors of your controlled AI, and it was much better. Certainly this is missing in Dragon Age Inquisition. On top of that, when left alone, AI will target the monster you are currently targeting. One can say, but you can stop the time and select different targets for them. Yes, but I enjoy action combat, if I can call it like this in this instance. Even the game developers, on one of the occasions, on one of the videos, said that if the player prefers action combat, that they can just do that. Do just that. Now, regardless of what they said, this game was developed with tactical camera and micromanagement in mind. Action combat was vastly overlooked, and even on consoles you can move camera with the second analog stick, but it leaves all other problems still intact. Here's another example of the AI is utterly dumb. It'll get stuck. It's unhelpful, will get into the fires and traps. Heck, I dare to say that even Dragon's Dogma had better reacting AI. I'm talking about their combat behaviors. If the AI was actually good, I could have beaten few hard to kill mobs like giants and dragons But archers stay in the melee range, and so does the mages, and they hardly dodge or move out of the harm's way, which leads to huge frustration. Now the other thing to mention is that when I used stealth on my first character, I had a rogue, and I had told my teammates to stay. They would still follow me had I went too far. Yeah, which makes stealth mechanics really possible only in combat. Wasted opportunity. Add to that the fact that when AI controlled my rogue, he would usually die, so he required a lot of babysitting, because AI doesn't know what's the biggest threat or who to attack first to make this massive damage. Frustrating, to say at least. And there's a lot of other tiny problems, like AI not attacking too often or using skills or abilities. But because I don't have much time in this video, I will proceed to a different problem. Enemy AI is also dumb. It's such a shame to see one soldier charging at me and dying. No problem, right? Ask yourself, what if that soldier noticed that he had no chance with the 4 of my characters, started running behind, I don't know, some kind of rock or a tree, and led us into a trap? Now that's smarter in my opinion. But nope, not happening here. There are tons of different skills and spells you can use. Sometimes it's hard to see stuff in the heat of the battle, which is frustrating, especially when you try to, you know, parry or block. They also have, the enemy AI have a certain range of spawn points, which I will show you in this video. It's just kinda silly, yeah, and they don't try to run, which makes traveling annoying, to say at least, because there's a lot of backtracking and you have to stop and fight another pack of wolves or another pack of Templars or mages. Now, Dragon Age Inquisition requires little skill. All you need to do is to level up and have a good gear, and you can swim through most of the challenges without doing much. Even if you think you have skills of an action combat gamer, like a gamer, for example, from the Dark Souls or a Monster Hunter, you'll find them redundant here, because Dragon Age Inquisition combat is not action-based, where it requires skills, but rather it's about positioning, issuing orders to your team, and using devastating abilities at the right time. Don't believe me? Try multiplayer. When your character is level 1, you will die. It doesn't matter whether you have skills. It's about gear, level, and grinding. And nobody wants to grind. I know I don't want to. So my experience with multiplayer is rather negative, because of random people I want to rush, and quite frankly, I don't blame them. There are only 3 locations, which later on gets boring. And once you realize that they don't encourage exploration, you'll just rush through them yourself to get the gold and experience. So there's little incentive to play multiplayer, because combat alone is not fun, and it was designed with a grind in mind. Such a wasted opportunity, and I hope that in future installments of Dragon Age series they will improve on combat, and this time make it a true action RPG. Therefore I dare to say that even Terra, which is an MMORPG, had better combat that felt more immersive and entertaining. Immersive because you actually had to look out for the what the monster was doing, sorry. Dodge, block, and look for an opening to attack. And bear in mind that this is not a review of a full game. The full game is good, and I would recommend to buy it if you want a single player RPG experience, because it really tells, I wouldn't say a good story, because story like saving the world was done many times, and quite frankly it's a bit lackluster to me. But it's what happens between the end and the start. That's the meat of the game. That's the story. The little stories of Varric or Cassandra or Blackwall. It's well written, and it's just fun to experience it. So this is a review of a gameplay mechanics and combat, and as such I give Dragon Age Inquisition Assassin's rank. And there are 5 ranks: Grandmaster, Master, Assassin, then you have a Novice, and a Thug being the lowest. So Assassin rank pretty much means this kind of combat. It gets the job done, but it feels outdated, and I feel like they could have done more, like manual aiming, movement with the camera, with your mouse, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'll end this video by saying that it's a good game. The combat could have been better, and this game had so much potential, but it's just not there yet. So thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day. Sayonara.